I'm going to give you as quickly as possible an overview of this, and then Leonard has actually shot each video himself explaining it. MJ theory means Michael Jordan theory. Michael Jordan had great genetics, but he played lower than anyone in the NBA. Was it because of the genetics? I don't think so. A lot of guys had good genetics. He forced himself to stay low. Think about if you start playing lower now, tomorrow, it translates. Where do you think you'll be a few years from now? So suffering through burn now by playing lower translates to later. It's step 0 though, because that's not a drill, that's a mentality. How do I apply it? I apply it because when I'm playing basketball and someone's approaching me in a game, before they even get to me, so I don't have to remember this, I put myself low and just feel those muscles before they even get to me. Step 1 of actual drilling, inside knee position. I'm going to show you this really quickly. Can you see my knees? If my knees are outside the way they teach us, and I pick my foot up off the ground, I don't actually go that way. But if my knees are inside and I just lift my foot up, my body automatically falls that way. So this inside knee position is actually what happens when you move laterally. If you start here, you don't realize that you still end up going like that. So we're just removing that time. That time is ticking, and we're removing it so that these muscles, these VMOs, are going right to work, and they're pushing. The weight goes on them simply by lifting up the foot. That's inside knee position, and you drill it with a 60-second isometric where you go on the balls of your feet, not your toes, balls of the feet, inside knee position, hands below your knees, boom, holding 60 seconds, you'll be on fire. You can do that 60 seconds a day until that position feels like home. Then stepping. We're taught to shuffle in basketball, and in a lot of sports they have us do shuffling drills, but that's not actually how lateral motion works. And lateral speed is not how fast you can go that way, it's how fast you can go back the other way. So we're trying to train ourselves to step. So this one, you can do it by yourself or with a buddy to direct you. If you do it by yourself, you would simply alternate. You'd be here, balls of your feet, you're in your stance, and now all you do is you practice, instead of this, which if you look at it in slow motion, this is not getting you there, you practice stepping. So what happens is you step, and then you replace that step, and you go back to your starting line. So it's step, replace, step, replace, step, replace, step, replace. And you would do this trying to work on all your positions 30 seconds at a time. You can do 3 sets of 30 seconds to drill this. And then the last part, shading and pad level. Shading and pad level you put together in a final drill, which Leonard shows you, which is, in basketball, it's based on the rim. In other sports, it has different indications, but this still applies to almost every sport when you're on defense and you're trying to move laterally. In basketball, it means wherever that rim is, if the offensive player moves this way from the rim, I'm not trying to cut him off straight. This drill is just teaching the stepping. It's not actually applying it exactly how it's used in a game. Shading pad level is. Shading means that I have a sideline and a baseline, which are both out of bounds. So the more a defender moves away from the middle, the more I'm keeping him over there. So we do this with the drill where we keep him over there, and then I don't let him back out. So pad level pulls that all together, and pad level is a football term that Leonard uses, and it means that your pads are not coming up. So once you can do steps 1 and 2, the way you pull it all together is by shading and staying low, and then that's what allows you to make your plays. And a final little tip for basketball is that if the offensive player is moving that way, I go with the inside hand low so that he can't come back, and this hand is available for disruption, and also happens to work out to give you some momentum too. If he tried to come back out this way, boom, I'm right there. So shading, pad level allows you to then turn steps 1 and 2 into real stops, steals, etc. So that was my quick overview, but in Leonard's own words and showing you each drill, Leonard will put the video. So once you've watched this overview, go ahead and keep reading and keep watching the videos below.